is waiting patiently. We are back, a little bit delayed in our schedule, but it's all for good because there's so much inspiration that everyone here has to share. Tiskula mitzvot. So Orit Esther is an incredible person. She's a good friend of mine, always open to sharing her Torah, her inspiration. Whenever I ask her, let's collaborate, she's like, for sure, let's do it. And she's a very, very busy lady. You'll hear all about what she does. Orit actually is a worldwide inspirational Emuna speaker and author, leading energy practitioner, and educator, trauma, and influential expert. Healing from her own illness of multiple sclerosis, MS, she devotes her life to spreading the word of Emuna's wondrous powers and helping thousands heal from trauma and pain. In her quest to help as many people as possible, Orit sends out encouraging and inspirational emails to thousands of subscribers. Please subscribe to her. Please, Orit, put your information there if you can. If not, we'll do it after. She has lectures worldwide. She's published numerous self-help books. She has a podcast that you can access through Spotify and other ways as well. And she's established an academy of Torah courses and facilitates women in retreats. I've been to her retreat. She's amazing. We need another retreat already here in Israel, not only Mexico. Israel's also beautiful. And you can access her at emunaenergy.com. And we're very, very, very honored and pleased to have you here, Orit, who's going to be sharing her inspiration with the theme. I forgot to mention everybody's themes, but you're getting to hear it from them. Hashem is with us, which I'm sure she's going to elaborate on that. Orit, please join us. Let me just make sure you can unmute.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Good, great.
Thank you.
Welcome, Orit.
Thank you, Karen.
Let me just pick up the spotlight.
So I will tell you that we actually are planning another retreat here in Israel. It's already in the works the week before Hanukkah. God willing, get Ula by then. I know. We're all traveling. What are we going to do? But Bezat Hashem, B'shuato.
Want to lower your screen? Drop? Because you're...
Lower my screen.
Bring it down. Just a drop. We could see you. Amazing.
Is that better? Yeah? Okay. So may this be the last one. Be'ezrat Hashem, I was hoping we weren't going to get to this point where we would have to go through a Tisha B'Av conference like this, but I will say to you, thank you, Karen. Thank you to Lev Ha'am. Thank you for all your efforts. Your unbelievably dedicated neshama to the world. How you really, really have put forth the platform to allow this divrei chizuk and this achdut, this unity to come through for us. And Hashem should bless you. Hashem should answer all of your tefillot amongst all of us for the geula, personal geula, and the collective geula. Be'ezrat Hashem, we have to keep, I guess, muting everybody. So yeah, today.
I muted you by mistake.
Yeah, so that's fine. It's fine. No problem. All good. Part of the technical challenges in the background. So yeah, today I would like to discuss on this very awesome and awe-inspiring day, I want to call it, of Tisha B'Av. I want to discuss the idea of Hashem being with us. As Karen mentioned, I run OrEmunaEnergy.com, dailydoseofemuna.com for over a decade. And the whole skit and skadoodle and goal of everything that Hashem has gifted me, and everything is a gift. Everything is a gift. Lo magia li klum. Don't deserve anything. It's all Hashem's doing. I didn't plan this. I don't even know how I got here. And I don't even know where I'm going, but Hashem is obviously has a plan for all of us. And I want to just say that it's all been dedicated to the idea of addressing the very painstaking reality of this terrible feeling that we're all walking around with. You have to forgive me, obviously, if I'm going to cry. Obviously, today is the day to cry. But this very, very deep, emotional, painful feeling that we all have inside of us, and I get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails. Some of them I write to myself. feeling this terrible, terrible feeling of Hashem's absence in the world, and really, really sensing the pain of feeling this distance and this darkness and this pain. And the biggest korban and the biggest destruction that we feel is that we don't always feel the korban itself. We don't feel the fact that we don't have the Bet HaMikdash. We don't connect the idea of our pain to the idea that it's because we don't have the Bet HaMikdash. We don't have our temple. We don't have this ability to just walk into this beautiful edifice, this beautiful building, which was more holy than just a building, and to be able to hear the Levim sing, to be able to feel and sense how every part of those distances that we were part of, that unfortunate process of these barriers being created, so to speak, we'll talk about that in a minute, that we were able to have them dissipate in the merit of this beautiful building called the Bet HaMikdash. And today, so many of us, all of us, what we really, really, really want is we want Hashem back. He's here, but we want to feel him. We want to feel his nearness. Abale, we miss you. We miss you. Where are you? You're here, but we don't feel you. And this is very, very, very painful for us. And the way that this missing translates into our lives is in a place of feeling alone and feeling that our prayers are not being answered and feeling the questions, having to live in the question mark is what I say. We have to live in this question mark of Hashem, are you really here? I know I read it, I learn about it, but Hashem, are you really here? Like, how could this be if you're here? So I want to bring us back to what we read in Parashat Va'era, when Moshe Rabbeinu speaks to Hashem, and he says to Hashem that ever since he goes over to Paro, and he says to Paro, let my people go, the galut, the challenges, the hardships become harder for Am Yisrael. And Moshe Rabbeinu is very frustrated with this. Here I am, I'm reaching out to you, I'm crying out to you, Hashem, and it's not getting better. It almost is getting worse. And Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, I want you to know something. The Avot HaKadoshim, our fathers, only knew one side of me. The side that they knew is called Kel Shakai. This is how the Avot HaKadoshim knew me. They knew me through my name called El Shakai. That's how they knew me. They didn't know me through Havaya, through the Yud and the Hey and the Vav and the Hey. They didn't know me. Now we know, and the Gra Kadosh teaches us, that Hashem is one. And yet, we understand that through our experiences, we have a relationship with Hashem through the various different names. Just like I am called Ima, I'm called Safta, I'm called Orit Esther, I'm called Rebbitzin, I'm called Oritile, I'm called all kinds of different names. But there's only one me. There's only one Orit Esther Riter. There's only one. So the same thing, Hashem is only one. Kulo Tov, Hatov v'Hametiv. He's good, and everything that he does, we either experience the good here right now, what's called revealed good, or it's for the ultimate good, Hametiv. It will show its way in terms of it being good. So Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, tell Bnei Yisrael, when they're during all this pain, tell them, Ani Hashem. I am the Yud and the Hey and the Vav and the Hey. I am not Kel Shakai. I'm not, and soon we're going to explore what that means. I'm not even the way that our Avot, the forefathers, experienced experienced me. I am, and what is the Havaya? Havaya means kulo chesed v'rachamim. I am compassion and I am loving kindness. That is my true essence. And it doesn't always come through. We don't always get to see it. We don't always get to experience it. And that's the terrible feeling that I started off a few minutes ago to explain, is the feeling that we get that where is this loving kindness? Where is this compassion? So Yaakov Avinu yells out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu when he goes through all this pain and suffering, and he says, Mi she'amar le'olamo dai, yomar letzarotenu dai. What does that mean? Yaakov Avinu is saying to Hashem, just like you said to the world, when you created the world, you used the name Shah and then Dai, not the Yud and the Hey and the Vav and the Hey. I hope everyone's following. I'll bring it all together and simplify it, hopefully within the next few minutes. But you used the word, your name, you named the process of creation through the Shin, the Daled, and the Yud. Dai. You said Dai. When you created the universe, Hashem, you said Dai. Just like you said Dai then, Yaakov Avinu says to Hashem, say Dai letzarotenu Dai. Say that tzarotenu, our problems, our sorrows, our pains, Dai. What does this mean? What this means is we have to understand the process of creation just a little bit. And I'm going to try very hard to simplify some very, very deep mystical concepts brought down. Those who know the process of tzimtzum and concealment of Hashem's light, then you know what I'm talking about. Those who don't, I'll explain it briefly. In order for Hashem to have created the universe, Hashem needed to constrict his presence in the universe. He needed to, so to speak, constrict all of his light, the light of oneness, into a very small, so to speak, area. Again, I'm humanizing all these terms. They're much deeper and much greater, and I don't claim to be an expert in knowing this. I'm just teaching you the simplest way that I know how to explain and I understand in my own pea-sized brain. But the idea is that the Rizal brings down is that in order for us, me, to be me, and Hashem, so to speak, to not to be Hashem, so to speak, or not to feel my presence, to feel my independent space, Hashem needed to, so to speak, constrict and go into hiding, constrict his essence and go into hiding to make room for you and I and the world to exist as independent beings, whatever that means. So Hashem needed to use, so to speak, he needed to, so to speak, dress himself in a name to enable for this constriction to happen. And the name that Hashem chose to use for this constriction to happen was Shin and Dai, Shakai, right? Now, interestingly enough, the whole idea of Tzimtzum has within it the word Tzom v'Tzom. We're in fasting, right? Inside the idea of the Tzimtzum, of this concealment, of this constriction, there's twice the idea of the fast, the two fasts, the two major fasts that we fast, which is Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur. So within already this concealment, Hashem knew in his infinite wisdom that in order to come out of this tzimtzum, we need to go into these two tzomot, these two fasts, right? I'm just going to do something very quickly. Please forgive me on my camera because I see it's going in and out. It must have some sort of cleaning that it needs to have over there. So the idea that Yaakov Avinu now tells to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, tells to Hashem, just like at one point, Hashem, you needed to dress yourself up in this name change called Shakai, to say Dai. And what was that Dai? The Dai was that Hashem had to say to creation, so to speak, enough. The concealment is enough. There's enough darkness in the universe for the mankind to now come on the scene be brought into this place of hiddenness, olam from the word ha'alem, right? We can now bring mankind into the universe, and they can experience this hiddenness, this darkness, this terrible feeling of, where are you, Hashem? But to the point where they could still find me. That's basically what Hashem said and intended, so to speak, when he brought the universe to a place where only up until here. Hashem, so to speak, looked at the universe from afar and said, you know what? It's dark enough, but yet there's enough light there, because Hashem left us with light in the darkness. There's enough light there that mankind, through yigiyah, through work, through tzomot, through fasts, through tshuva, through all this process that we're doing in all these 5,783 years, they will be able to find me. So going back to Yaakov Avinu, what is he saying to Hashem? He said, just like Hashem, you decided at one point, you looked at the universe and you said, you know what? Till here, mankind, creation can still find me. I created enough of a distance, enough of a hiddenness, but we can still, there's still room. Through the avoda, through the work of mankind, they will be able to find me. They will be able to find me. Yaakov Avinu says, I can find you still till here. But the hardships, Yaakov Avinu says to Hashem, that you've put upon me now, die. That's enough. That's enough. What is the whole purpose of creation? The whole purpose of creation is to find Hashem, reveal the light from within the challenges and in the hardships. And Rashi says that behind this term, the name El Shakai, behind this the name, the presentation of Hashem's interaction with the universe called Kel Shakai, Rashi says there's a promise. What is that promise? Whenever we see and we feel these limitations, these borders, these mechitzas, these barriers, these where are you, Hashem, kind of mentalities of thoughts that we feel in our place of darkness and challenges and confusion, when we enter in that place called my relationship with Kel Shakai, not with Havaya, not with the revealed side of Hashem's compassion, when I have to meet these mechitzas, these barriers, Rashi says, no, that there's a promise there. There's a promise in those hardships. And that promise is, there is light. There's enough light. I left behind, Hashem says, enough light for you to find me in this hardship, for you to find me in this darkness. And that is what we are supposed to be doing in this very challenging time, in this generation, in this place of darkness. Hashem wears many, many, many layers. There are a lot of garments, so to speak, around him. But he's found here. We just don't clearly hear his voice. We don't hear the bat kol. We don't hear the echoing of Hashem's voice. And all we want and all we should be asking for today is, Hashem, just send me that word. Send me that spark of light. Help me remember what I already know in my nefesh. All of us remembers. We have the imprint of the memory inside of us when we were once one, before we came down into body form. We're asking Hashem, Hashem, show me that you are the Havaya of creation, that you've never left, that you are Hayah Hoveh V'yiyeh, you've always been here. Show me, Hashem, that in the span of time, from the moment that my nefesh was carved out of your Havaya, of your beingness, that you're still here, that you're Mehaveh Kol HaBriyah, that you are bringing about the continuum of creation, and you're still here, Hashem. This emotional truth is what's missing. We know it, we read about it, we understand it, We come in and out of it. We oscillate in between these moments of consciousness, of awareness, but we're missing this relationship with this emotional truth. It's not in our organs. It's not in our endocrine system. It's not in our glands. It's not pumping out enough of the endorphins that we need to go through life. And somehow, ve'avadata et Hashem Elokecha b'simcha b'tuvat levav. There's something missing. Hashem, we're missing it, Hashem. We don't have it pumping through our veins. And we're asking for it, and we need it. We desperately need it. We're lacking this ability to just take hold of this cloak and rip it and expose the truth of reality. But the nefesh knows. Inside, we know. We really and truly know that this is the truth. And this is the journey that Esther Hamalka, who I identify with so much because my middle name is Esther, Esther Hamalka goes through this hester panim, this hiddenness of Hashem, you're with me, but keli lama azavtani. How did you leave me, Hashem? And David HaMelech says this, how could you have left me? And David HaMelech uses a very specific word. It's azavtani. It's not lama azavta oti. He doesn't use two words. Hashem, so to speak, inspires David that even within this pain, David HaMelech chooses to use one word, azavtani. Even in the word itself, he doesn't want to feel the separation. Azavtani, you're still with me in that one word. And we read this whole concept of this darkness, of this separation in Purim. I know we're in Tisha B'Av, but it's important for us to recognize because there's this very specific point I want to bring about in the chapter 22 of Tehillim, right? Lamnatzeach al ayelet hashachar. Esther Hamalka reaches out in those moments of the decree, of the pain, of Am Yisrael, and there again we also meet a tzom. We once again meet a fast. We once again meet the tzimtzum, the concealment of Hashem's light in the universe, which is why we fast. We fast because we want to be reminded that this is the DNA of creation. The DNA of creation is tzimtzum, is this concealment. And when I restrict something from myself, I realize that the whole restriction of the world is so that I can exist. Is so that there could be a me, that there could be a you, there could be a me, there could be a creation. But the idea is to go through the process of the fasting and remind ourselves it can't be any other way. There can't be another creation other than to meet this concealment in my whole life. And so twice a year, Hashem gives us this opportunity to remind ourselves of why there's even a creation. And when I constrict my hana'ah and my, so to speak, pleasures of life, I'm reminded of the idea that the only oneg and the only pleasure in life is to find Hashem within the concealment. So David HaMelech says, Lamnatzeach, I have to win over ayelet hashachal. I have to win over this shachal. What is this shachal? So we learn that there's two different shachars. One is the shachar, the dawning, that depicts darkness, shachol. And one is the shachal that comes after the darkness, and that's the shacharit, the morning. The idea of morning, right? And in between this shachar, shachol, this blackness, and the shacharit, this dawning of the light, there's in between, there's the coming up of the Shekhinah. And that's where we are. We're in between the darkness of Galut and the dawning, the coming up of the light of the Shekhinah. And we're stuck right here in this midway process. And what are we supposed to do here? We're just about to enter into this revelation of the Shekhinah. She's just about to be revealed. Any moment now, she's coming up. What are we supposed to do to encourage, to hasten this? So we read further, a few verses down in this parak of Tehillim, Ve'ata kadosh yoshev tihilot Yisrael. David HaMelech says, how am I going to get you, kadosh, to yoshev, to sit with Yisrael? How am I going to get you, Hashem, to come back to sit with us in this lowly world? And the answer is, Yoshev Tihilot Yisrael. Hashem will sit with Yisrael when we, you and I, will sing praises, Tihilot, Tihilim. When we will sit and praise you, Hashem. When we will recognize within all this, Keli, lama azaftani, when I feel that you left me, Hashem, but I'm still saying, Keli, you're my God. I still feel you're my God. I don't feel you far away. You're Keli, you're my God. When I could sing those words of praise to you, that within my pain, I'm still saying, you are my God. You're still with me. Then I get you, Hashem, to sit with me. To really, really sit with me. That's the answer. The answer is in your and my mouths. To sing to Hashem and to, within this pain on today, on a day of mourning, to say, Hashem, Keli, Keli, you are my God. You've never left me. And I feel you sitting right here beside me, right here with me. So as I'm continuing to speak, and I'm going to lead us into a meditation soon, I want everyone to reverberate that verse and go into that, and like a mantra, like a positive affirmation, keep saying that again and again and again. Keli, Keli, Hashem, Hashem, you are my God. You're with me. Why did you leave me? But within that, and we're going to do this on the meditation, to feel that you are sitting with me. Yoshev, Tihilot, Yisrael, you are sitting with me. That is my praise to you, Hashem. That is how I come out of this place. The world is filled with so many walls and so many barriers, but let me tell you, my friends, they are all delusions and they are all illusions. They are not real. There are no mechitzas. There aren't any barriers. Hashem, you are with me, sitting here with me, just because my fleshy eyes can't see it. But you are here. And Hasidut teaches us, and the Torah, the Baal Shem Tov, which is the Torah that Or Emuna energy stands for, and it is behind all of the practices that we learn at Or Emuna energy. The Hasidut teaches us that we have to revive that part of the nefesh, that part of the spirit within us that knows and feels Hashem's presence. It's not far. It's right there. It's pumping in our kishkas. There is that part within self that we know. We only have to awaken the senses and learn how to hear that voice, how to hear and revive that memory. And that is a daily avoda, hence the daily dose of Emuna. It's a daily avoda to get ourselves to feel and to sense Hashem's love within the galut, within the pain. And we enforce that today. Because again, today is a day of tzom. Today is a day of fasting. What does the tzom do? Not only does it awaken the cosmic concealment that Hashem had to put into creation in order for creation to exist, in order for you and I to exist in the oneness. Hashem had to revert back, so to speak. The Shekhinah had to, so to speak, take a few steps back, much like the mother who has to take a few steps back and bring out her hands for the child to meet her in order to enable the child to strengthen the muscular system in the legs find the balance to walk alone. But the mother is there, reaching out, waiting for the child to meet and hold the hands of the mother. Today we reinforce our Tselem Elokim. We reinforce that connection to our godly image through the Tzom. Because if you look, my dear friends, my chevraya, here, if you look at the word Tselem, you will find within it the word Tzom, with the additional letter Lamed. Because within the Tselem Elokim, there's got to be the Tzimtzum and the concealment, the Tzom. That's when we get to really radiate our Tselem Elokim during these days like today of Tisha B'Av. But we need one thing in order to bring out the Tselem from within the Tzom, because Tselem, the image, is spelled Tzadik Lamed Mem. There's one extra letter there. Besides the Tzadik and the Mem, there's the Lamed. What is the Lamed? The Lamed is the Lev. The Lamed is the heart. The Lamed is Lilmod, to learn. If we could put our hearts into today, and we could learn to act in a different way, then our Tselem comes back. The ability to connect to Hashem and to emulate His ways and to feel His light and presence will come back to us, Be'ezrat Hashem, through the Tzom. That is the lesson. I want to say one last thing before we go into meditation. The action and the sense of this month, Chodesh Av, as we learn in Sefer Yetzirah, it's a very mystical book called the book of creation. It's a very mystical book, very hard to understand, but we know that every month has a sense that has to be refined, a mode of action that we have to take. And the mode of action this month is the sense of hearing. It's connected also to the tribe of Shimon. So the idea is that this month we need to be able to hear and listen something new. We need to hear a new message. Now we all hear sounds. We're all connected to the sounds of my voice right now, right? The sounds of everything that we hear. But this month we need to be able to refine that sense of hearing. We need to ask ourselves, what is in that sound? Who is in that sound? Who are in the sounds of the words that are being spoken to me every day from my spouse, my children, my in-laws, my friends, my neighbors, my family, myself, my inner voice? Who's speaking to me, through me? What are they saying to me? Because Hashem is speaking to me through everyone else. Mikol melamdai hiskalti, I have to learn from everybody. What's in those sounds? What's hiding there? Because everything is hidden. Olam, from the word hiddenness, ha'alem. So everything that is being spoken to me has a hidden message that needs to be spoken to me. And I need to ask myself, what emotion is being elicited inside of me when I hear the words being spoken to me, through me? And we have to find Hashem in every word, in every sound. By the way, that's one of the things we're going to be doing in the upcoming Mexico retreat. There's a few spots left for whoever wants to join. We're going to be in Tulum, Cancun in 10 days from now. You can find all the information on oramunaenergy.com. We're going to be going into silencing and breathing into our soul so that we can hear the sounds, so we can hear the voices. Kol dmama daka. When we silence ourselves, we do hear those sounds. We can hear the sound of Chodesh Av. We can hear the sound of Abba. We can hear Him calling out to us. Av is also Bet Aleph, Bo Elai. Come to me. Bet Aleph, Ba Elul. Elul is coming. Rosh Hashanah is coming. The time for closeness to Hashem is starting now. It starts in Chodesh Av. So I'm going to invite us all into this beautiful place of a short meditation. I know I don't want to hog up the time. Miriam Yerushalmi, my very dear friend and beautiful neshama, is due next, and you have to stay on to listen to her gorgeous, sweet, honey-dripping words. So I don't want to take up too much more time, but I want to put us in maybe through a 5-minute meditation to integrate. We've had so many beautiful speakers here today. I had the merit of listening to some of them. Rebbitzin Nissenbaum happens to be also another one of the inspiring Rebbitzins in my life, and many others. I heard a little bit of Dvora Cohen and Rina, and Baruch Hashem, really just a beautiful, beautiful, and everything that comes out of Karen, honey dripping words. So I don't want to take too much time, but I want to be able to integrate all that we have learned and all that we will learn still from Miriam and from Karen as well. So let's just close our eyes for a minute and try to go into this internal place. And again, please forgive me if my voice crackles and I'm emotional because we're in Tisha B'Av. And that's the Inyanei Dioma. That is the calling of today. So I'm inviting you to just close your eyes and silence. Go into that place of silence by just breathing. And I'm going to invite you to even hear your breath. It's not something we usually do. But I want to invite you to hear your actual breathing. Hear what it feels like. Hear the sounds of the breath moving through you. Invite the quietness and the stillness of the moment. And invite this beautiful voice of your breath, because the voice of your breath is the voice of your neshama, neshama. It's the voice of Hashem breathing into you and you breathing back to Him through your exhale. I invite you to listen. Listen to the sounds of, first of all, what it feels like, what it hears, what it sounds like, the sound of galut. What is the pain and the wailing and the cries of galut sound like to you? I'm sure that you're going to start recalling all the pains of your own life, the pains of your personal exile, the things that you are personally experiencing right now. And I want to invite you to feel that pain. Today is the day to feel that pain. Many other opportunities too, but right now, we're in Tisha B'Av. We want to feel that pain. The pain of the arguments, the lack of peace, the traumas we've gone through, each one in their own way. The pain of our neighbors, our friends, of the collective trauma of Israel, the terrorist attacks, anti-Semitism, the Holocaust. Oy, the pain of disconnect of Hashem from us, the terrible feeling of alienation, of where are you, Hashem Ayeka? And although we're all breathing and we know Hashem is existing within the pain, because we're feeling the breath and we're feeling the movement of the breath inside of the body, and we know that we're alive right now because He wills for us to be here in the pain. But you are here, Hashem. I hear the breath. I hear your presence as I recall the pain, as I recall my personal pain, as I recall the personal pain of my neighbor and my friends, the cries of those in the hospital, the cries of those who sit Shiva, the cries of those who are within me as I feel their pain. I feel them feeling me, and they feel me feeling them, and we're all one. And now I'm going to invite you from this very deep place. I'm inviting you to the words that we read in Eov. There are 3 very beautiful words that Eov teaches us. Ozen, milin, tivhan. The ear can dissect from within the word something else. The first 3 letters of these 3 words in Eov, Ozen, milin, tivhan, spell the word emet, truth. Our ear has the awesome ability to discern something else, something of truth from within the pain. So I'm going to invite you from this place of stillness to hear the sound of the shofar. Invite the sound of the shofar here in the pain. Because when we can hear the sound of the shofar, and we could see with our eyes closed Eliyahu Navi on Har Hazeitim blowing the shofar, then there's no more pain. And the sound of truth comes through. And there's no more galut. There's only the oneness of Hashem, the truth of reality, reverberates and breaks open the points of pain. And all the questions no longer are questions. And now I'm inviting you all to just embrace yourself with this tefillah, because this meditation is a tefillah. Tefillah le'ani ki ya'atof. This is the tefillah, and this is the prayer that we're giving over to Hashem, and we're asking Hashem to embrace us in this tefillah, and in this moment, in this place of achdut, in this place of unity, where we're all together, allowing ourselves to cry, allowing ourselves to feel the pain of the galut, but at the same time inviting the sound of the shofar to wake us up and break down the barriers that seemingly separate us from Hashem. And just breathe that in. And even allow a smile to crack through this moment. Because that's the underpinning of truth. And yeah, welcoming all us back here to open our eyes with a little bit of a smile. And I pray to Hashem that He hears, and I know He does, that He hears our wailing out to Him. And brings us the Geula Shlema. Please Hashem, may it be your will. May it be your will that this is the last one. Die letzavotenu. Die. Die. No more. Yeah, I'm going to introduce Miriam. Miriam, I love you. So
Before you
beautiful.
introduce Miriam, I just want to say thank you so much for that, Orit. It's like, Lev Ha'am, you know? The more you're talking, the more I'm thinking about people that are going to be said. Lev Ha'am. And I'm sure Hashem's heart also hurts much more. And like you said, we need to show Hashem, we need to try. We really need to try. I spoke about it before, I don't know if you heard me, but Dima comes from Dema, comes from confusion. We're confused, we don't know what to do. The only thing we know is that we need Hashem. We need Hashem, that's what we need. And ladies, if you can't daven, just cry.
Just cry.
You just have to cry. Just cry. Just show Hashem how much you love Him, how much you need Him. Just show Hashem how much we need the Geulah. From Gola to Geulah, I always say it's just the Aleph. Alufo shel Olam. We just need Hashem.
It's the
Geulah, Galut, the Gola to Geulah. Just with the Aleph, Alufo shel Olam, and the Aleph of our Emuna. Holding on. This is supposed to give us chizuk. We're going to hold on no matter what.
Yep.
And Hashem is going to give it to us. He's going to give it to us. And like you said, we have to smile and say, thank you, Hashem. You're giving us the Geulah. We're believing it with our whole heart and soul. No matter what you're going through, ladies, you're not alone.
No.
We're all with you. And just hold on. Keep yearning. Keep praying, yearning. And it's so important to do this kind of meditation every day, just to be connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And you have to do tikkun chatzot, to do it during the day, by the midday, chatzot hayom, or at night. You know, the great Rabbanim would sit on the floor, the floor would be filled with tears. Tears for the Tsar Shechina, the pain of the Shechina, the pain of Am Yisrael who are suffering. Bezrat Hashem, Geulah is here. You have to believe it.
Right.
You have to yearn for it, cry for it today. And Hashem is comforting us, really comforting us. And it's just so much. Die, like you said at the beginning. Die, L'tzarotenu, Abba. Enough. Forgive us, Tzarotenu, die. תביא לנו משיח תזכנו ברחמים גדולים, יראה בימינו אמן. Sorry, I'm out of video. I'm on the way to the hotel. There's lots of chat. Hope to see you there. Bring you there. You stay on with us. And I'll let Orit, thank you, Orit, for sharing your heart. I love everything you say. And
I want to invite the women really to join the programs and be part of Or Emuna Energy and be spontaneous. If we don't hear the call of shofar, just come to Mexico. This is like just a taste of what we're going to be doing there. It's going to be very deep, and it's going to get us into the new year. And we need these gatherings. Karen, what you're doing here, this is the koach of the achdut of the gatherings, is what is bringing Mashiach. What one woman can't do alone. What a group of women coming together, especially in these retreats or any of these programs, it's just so powerful because we know we're not alone and we feel it. Thank you, Karen. Okay, Miriam, are you here, Mama? I'm so sorry that I didn't mean to take your time, but you are so special and you need to have your time to speak and your words need to be infused into us. I don't see you. Are you here? Oh, I see you now. I see you.